Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Indy, and today we're going to be reviewing Foreclosed by Antab Studios.
Mr. Evan Capnos, identity implant KPN 4722. The owner of your identity debt, as well as your employer, SecureTech Inc., went bankrupt. Hence, I had to personally authorize the foreclosure of your identity. You are in a stalemate, Mr. Capnos. Until the auctioning, your ID is going to be suspended. Mental bollards will prevent you from leaving the city. Identity of your interlocutors will be censored. Your access to the blockchain will stay disabled. Your service weapon has been disassociated from your ID. As the protocol imposes, you are required to reach the court within 4 p.m. on today's date. Beyond that term, I will be compelled to consider you as non-compliant. Have a nice day, Mr. Capnos.
Mr. Capnos is having a bad day. A bad day. You wake up as Evan Capnos only to find out that your identity has been foreclosed. Everything about you is gone, and the courts aim to keep it that way. You know something isn't right about the entire situation, but it's up to you just how much you want to push back against the establishment. No matter what you decide, you'll be doing it in comic book fashion, and honestly, that is the best part about the game.
He's coming.
In the beginning, you find yourself on the run, outmanned and outgunned. You also find yourself moving from comic panel to panel. It plays pretty sweet at first, and the comic book style gameplay is pretty cool. Unfortunately, this style kind of makes it difficult to see what is going on in certain situations, and that can lead to problems as you try and find your way around. Capnos is, without giving too much away, accompanied by a stranger's voice that seems to want to help him. It's up to you, though, to decide if that's truly the case. You're given augmentations. You can sense certain frequencies that give you the power to override bad guys and take them out. It's basically kind of like a stealth move. Shortly after, you get a gun, and you're on your way to shooting baddies in the face, or at least what appears to be their face. You gain experience points from taking down bad guys, but you also get them from discovering these weird frequency things that you see in like the ground and in the walls. You'll know it when you see it. In short, you have your own built-in like homing device that seeks these things out. It's the oddest game of hot or cold I've probably ever played. These augmentations can be purchased for yourself or your gun. You can equip certain augments that will allow you to pick up items and then chunk them at your enemies. Or you can put it towards your gun, and that way you can get bullets that will penetrate energy shields or through their armor. Picking up stuff and slamming it against bad guys was pretty sweet. This happens quite a bit, but you also run through stealth areas where you need to sneak past drones or find your way around turrets. You can open doors or make things explode with your mind by using the international sign language of up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. Not always in that sequence, but you get the point. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, you sound kind of bummed out, Indy. And you would be right. I wanted Foreclosed to be so much more than what it was. The gameplay is cool at first, but when the same enemies that all seem to have one objective of moving straight forward or not at all, it gets a little repetitive. You can duck and dodge around, but that can lead to your character getting stuck in certain animations. Then on top of that, you're loading back into the game well, you better check and make sure that all your augmentations are equipped, because mine never were. And again, this bummed me out because I honestly felt Foreclosed had so much potential. The idea behind the game is great. I love the comic book style. It's really awesome looking. The voiceover work would be fantastic as well, but you never knew if it was going to be super quiet or extremely loud. And I would recommend keeping the volume down just in case. What was truly crazy about Foreclosed was how much I was enjoying the game until these annoying occurrences happened. The art behind the game is fantastic. I enjoyed solving the almost riddle-like puzzles and having several different dialogue options as well. That was, that's always welcomed. Shooting your way through bad guys with infinite ammo was cool, even if they never changed. I even earned a trophy for sniping them bad boys right in their face. And I did. That's a real trophy. If you play it, you'll see. I loved picking stuff up and crushing my foes. It was cool. Sling it, fling it, whatever you call it. It was pretty neat. And that's what was so frustrating about it. It felt as if this great idea was there, it just wasn't executed well. Foreclosed was definitely a baffling game for me. On one hand, I enjoyed everything I was looking at, even if sometimes it became distorted. The game is also, it's incredibly short. You could easily play it in one sitting. And that's actually fine by me. It doesn't feel like you would want to play this game for hours on end. And again, that's where the frustration kicks in. The bugs with the animations and the voiceover it's just a big problem for me. I'm sure it can be fixed, and hopefully it does, like right away. Seriously, if this game was like $9.99 on release, I'd say grab it, wait for the fixes, and give it a try. You might even enjoy it because I enjoyed the game. But that's not the case. You're gonna pay anywhere from $19.99 to $24.99, and sadly, it's not worth it. Yes, I'm bummed. Evan Kapnos deserved a fighting chance, in my opinion. And unfortunately, this awesome comic book visual game, that can only take you so far.
You are in a stalemate, Mr. Kapnos.
Thank you so much for watching the review, everyone. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. This review is kind of like the game, a little bumbling and stumbling in certain areas, and hopefully you still enjoyed it a little bit, but yeah, I thought the game was cool, looked great, it suffers from in a lot of areas that it shouldn't, and if it didn't, I would think it would be a much better game, but it's just not. So with that said, and as I always say, Indian, brah.